Since its founding in 1938, the California Professional Firefighters have grown to represent more than 37,000 firefighters across California, standing together, united by the job, the sacrifice, and the commitment to one another. From the fire ground to the state capitol, CPF amplifies the voices of those on the front lines and the families who stand beside them. And when it matters most, when wages, benefits, and working conditions are on the line, CPF rises to the challenge and fights for you. Through ongoing advocacy, CPF has made meaningful strides to improve the workers' compensation system, cutting delays, strengthening presumptions, and ensuring access to the care and benefits our members have earned. CPF is committed to making sure the system works the way it's intended, to support firefighters when they need it most.
If SB 1127 was not signed into law, I do think we'd continue to see unreasonable delays and denials of our members' claims for workers' compensation, particularly under presumptions.
8 years ago, when I ran for president, one of the things that we were all seeing was the TPAs, the third-party administrators, and some cities had figured out how to manipulate or do end-arounds on our presumptives. What we were seeing happen, automatic denials, going beyond the 90-day time period. It was a major frustration across this state. In the end, we were able to reduce the 90-day period to accept or deny down to 75 days. And then we also got the fees and the penalties reinstated for going over that.
And I think that caused many third-party administrators and many employers to revisit that approach. I literally, within months, noticed an increased frequency in the acceptances of these cases. And that's what it was intended to do.
If a member applies and has an accepted workers' comp injury and then has to apply for a disability, this ensures that disability would be honored.
We know there's still work that needs to be done to improve access, but we think that was SB 1127 served as a significant step forward.
CPF has spent years developing behavioral health support systems tailored to the unique needs of the fire service, creating solutions built by firefighters for firefighters, so no one has to carry the weight of the job alone.
We've always seen the issues in behavioral health, we just didn't know it. We didn't identify them. I do think the CPF, through the Behavioral Health Task Force, through the legislature, we are in a position of making a difference. We have made a difference.
SB 542 was passed because CPF recognized a need when it came to behavioral health injuries and our firefighters, and to establish a presumption for PTSI in California that would assist with our members receiving treatment and care. SB 542 had a sunset of January 1, 2025. CPF worked with Senator Laird on SB 623, which extended the presumption to January 1, 2029. The next stage in the presumption for PTSI is to ensure there is no sunset, so firefighters in the state of California can be protected for their entire career.
You know, when I first started this, our safety net had gaping holes in it, and we have closed those holes. We're still losing members. I don't know if we'll ever see that go down to zero, but that's our goal. That's what we have to strive for.
From addressing ambulance patient offload times to advancing system-wide improvements, CPF is leading the way to ensure firefighters can deliver care quickly and get back in service.
When we talk about AB 40, Ambulance Patient Offload Time, or APOT, since the inception of this bill and the inception of the data gathering period, just because we started it, we saw a drop in wall times in favor of patient care.
Currently, the State Emergency Medical Services Authority is working on permanent regulations to effectuate Assembly Bill 40. As a result, the State Emergency Medical Services Authority in 2026 will be requiring hospitals to implement their ambulance patient offload time protocol,
which is holding hospitals accountable and responsible for the 30-minute standard by being able to apply penalties and fines for missing it.
We are closely monitoring how that will work. In the absence of that being successful, it is likely that our executive board will direct us to work on a fine or penalty for excessive ambulance patient offload time to get our members off the wall.
The health and safety of our members is a top priority. CPF's legislative team is on the front lines of advocacy, addressing the very real risks firefighters face every day, pushing for stronger standards, better protections, and policies that put firefighters' health and safety first.
Lithium-ion batteries and battery energy storage systems are the next biggest threats in our communities and to the health and safety of firefighters in the event of an emergency.
At one of the world's largest battery storage plants.
The challenges we are facing with battery energy storage system fires, very highly toxic to our members, not only while they're burning, but the exposures after, exposures from our turnouts, cleaning, inspections.
We've already lost firefighters off the job in Orange County, Sacramento.
So when it comes to BESS systems, we passed some recent legislation. When a battery storage system is coming into your jurisdiction, they have to meet and confer with you on it. Part of another bill was dealing with PPE and making sure that standards are developed, SOGs are developed, and developed by September 1st of this year.
This is going to be an evolving industry. It's not going away. We have to make sure that we stay fully engaged when it comes to battery energy storage systems and lithium-ion batteries.
AB 1181 was super important. This is how we're finally going to get PFAS chemicals out of our turnouts.
It's a travesty that this substance has been in our safety gear for years.
And we realized that the very gear that we were wearing was breaking down, and these PFAS forever chemicals were seeping into our bloodstream, causing cancer in our members.
Now that AB 1181 is signed into law and will establish a process for the Cal OSHA Standards Board and experts to come together to determine what safety standards are necessary to certify your turnouts, the types of protocols that will facilitate the introduction of new gear that is free of PFAS and also free of regrettable substitutes like brominated flame retardants.
CPF's drawn a line in the sand when it comes to cancer. We're done. Half of the members we put on the wall last year died from job-related cancer. When it comes to cancer, nobody takes care of firefighters better than firefighters. Look at AB 700.
It was critical to bring together various stakeholders to have success and move this program forward. Then Assemblymember, now Senator Grayson, was the author of AB 700, which established the California Firefighter Cancer Prevention and Research Program in law. And then we worked with Senator Grayson to also pursue a budget ask where the legislature appropriated $7 million into the Firefighter Cancer Research and Prevention Program.
Currently, I think there are approximately 8 different grants in the works. Those are local unions that partnered with the medical community within the UC system in the state of California.
We worked really closely with Dr. Derek Irwin, also an executive board member of LA County Firefighters Local 1014, to really better understand how community engaged participatory research works and ensure that we can prevent or reduce risk from cancer.
I took it to the governor, and the governor chose the highest level plan that we put forward, a 10-year study on firefighters that responded, and he funded it at a little over $10 million. You combine that with AB 700, that's about $17 million in cancer study.
Currently, we are working on a proposal in the California state budget requesting $25 million be allocated to the UC Office of the President to allow for an additional round of grants to support the AB 700 research.
CPF works diligently on behalf of each and every organization under its umbrella with key decision makers at the state level to ensure firefighters have a seat at the table and a voice in the decisions that impact their profession.
When you look at our brothers and sisters of CAL FIRE Firefighters Local 2881, they have a mission that is very, very different. The 72-hour work week has taken years to get to a 66-hour work week, with the end result being a 56-hour work week. It's a game changer for those members. I think a lot of people don't understand the amount of work to get in the position to make this ask. It truly is historic.
To push this plan over the top would take multiple, entities. California
CPF, President Rice, Secretary Treasurer Lopez, our entire executive board joined with President Edwards and the whole Local 2881 team to advocate in the budget for that critical proposal at a time where there were not extra dollars in the budget, and stressed to all these elected officials how important it was for the health and safety of our members to move to a 66-hour work week, and how important it was to allow for the reduction in the work week to strengthen protection in their communities.
When I look at the JAC, not just the pre-employment EMT training and the funding that's gone there, the JAC is now an accredited paramedic academy. We accepted a check for $10 million in JAC funding to go towards paramedic training, incumbent training.
And we've been fortunate over the last several years that the success of the CalJAC has made legislators feel comfortable to provide additional resources to the CalJAC, whether through those pre-apprenticeship funding grants or through funding underfunded hours to make sure that fire agencies are made whole for all of the training that is done.
Every day on the job comes with its risks. That's why CPF is actively advocating for legislation that would allow firefighters to retire earlier with their health intact.
AB 1383 to me is the beginning to right-size the PEPRA reforms that took place under Governor Brown. This initial portion of PEPRA reform is going to bring us closer to the middle ground. We really need to lower the age. For firefighters, 57 is too old. This will bring it back to 55.
So AB 1383 is our priority retirement bill in the 2025-2026 two-year session. We're really pleased to have strong bipartisan support. It took a lot of work to get it through the Assembly. We had about 15 Republicans support the bill. As the bill is going to be considered in the Senate, we're going to have a policy committee hearing, likely in June. We're going to be working to make sure we have a really strong turnout of firefighters at that hearing.
We landed in a spot that I think at this moment is right, and it's going to be by no means a walk in the park to get a signature. It's a tough bill.
CPF's experienced and committed team of governmental advocates work tirelessly to advance the priorities of firefighters and their families. Because when the moment demands it, California professional firefighters rise to the challenge, standing together to protect our profession and the communities we serve.